every time I look at you. You pull me back into your river, swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. Not sure I really care. We're all of our demons, and they never disappear. I will forgive you if you've forgiven me. We're stuck in this pattern, but I need you close. All I ever wanted was for you to prove me wrong. You're changing our colors again and again. I could never let you go. Something about you feels so different, makes me wanna risk it every time I look at you. You pull me back into your river, swim a little deeper. I don't need to breathe with my head underwater. Underwater.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
Oh my God! Somehow they do it! Come on, Brad!
inexplicable. I can feel it in the air. Can you feel me?
Hello and welcome back to EYUC 2023 in Padua. Women Division action. The 4 p.m. afternoon has just started. I'm Christina Obamaya, joined by Steph Rapazzo, and we are up for a great game. Austria taking on Great Britain. How do we feel about that, Steph?
Well, I feel like we're in for a heck of a battle. GB probably have the advantage based on early results in this tournament. They did beat Germany in one heck of a battle yesterday. You would have seen that on the stream. They then went up against the Italians this morning and couldn't quite hack it. Speaking a little bit to Coach Katie Flight before the game, said it's a game they think that they can, a team that they could perform better against, but today the hot conditions really favored the Italians, but they do believe there's adjustments they can make to make that game closer or to fall in their favor. Of course, Austria have had a little bit of a tougher time so far in this tournament. 2 losses. The first one, a substantial deficit, but losing to the powerhouse here for the French women, who have been seamless thus far, but Austria only able to manage 2 against the French. This morning, they put up a heck of a battle against the Czech Republic, lost by 3, a 14-11 battle, and that is the tale of the tape for the Austrians. 0-2, 1 big beating and 1 very close, hard-fought match against the Czechs. So what I expect is for GB to be able to have the advantage here, but these Austrians have got stronger. They started against the best in the division. They've swung hard against the Czechs, who pushed the Italians at least for a half on the opening night. You know, 14-10. They pushed the Italians. They've gone as well as anyone has against the Italians. And now's their chance to see how they level up against GB. And I'm looking forward to it.
Me as well. So, of course, the women's division is set up as a round robin, meaning everyone plays everyone early in the game, in the tournament. 7 teams attending, and then you want to not be in that last spot that Austria currently sits in, 7th, because this means you do not have a chance to cross over to come to semis and kind of a pre-semi. And then the first two teams, currently France and Italy, will advance to the semis without having to play that pre-semi round. As the opening pull goes up, GB starting offense, and that pull is pretty good. Landing in that end zone as Tran puts it to Wilson. Thornton rather, and Askham cannot keep her hands around that disc.
Yeah, it's Askham's hands. You can't handle it, but it was Thornton on the throw there, and that one wobbled out of hand, and never really a good chance.
Johanna Dor picking up inside shot to Bauer. Gets it, tries to get it up the line, but that shot not quite there, and GB get it for free. Emily Tran picking up. Looks like a zone set out of Austria.
Looks like a double team a little bit, to be very honest.
Absolutely agree, yeah. Tran and Butler working it in that handler set for GB. Nice inside shot and giving and going now. Tran getting every other. Fakes the big disc and gets it through the middle, and that nearly a catch. Bauer laying out might have just disrupted the offense a little bit. Daria Sharuga picking up and putting it into the end zone for Hartmann, and that's a score, and Austria break to start the game.
On the board early, nice finish after a pair of turns to get that one on a long shot, about a 35, 40 meter throw. Let's say 35, but a nice leading throw right over the coverage defender. There was just enough separation that a shapely outside in forehand can get beyond the defender and feel like a very open throw, but it was not that open. The throw made it look more open, as you have another look here. Probably only, one step separation, but right into the hands.
Sharuga taking a chance, and the assist giver only 14 years of age, taking control of that point. And of course not a long shot, but as long as it can be.
Yeah, that's it. Throw from the midfield to the back of the end zone. Still feels like a long shot, especially when it's early in a sequence. And the Austrians do what they're going to do to stay ahead, take the first lead of the game, and they do it with a break.
That pull not quite as good as the last one was. Landing on about midfield, but the wind is pretty substantial. Hicks. Has to go back, but gets it. Tended to get it back, and some kind of pressure put on by the Austrians.
Yeah, Austrian defense putting on enough pressure, really moving in those arrowhead flank positions to take away the throwing lanes.
Around that, zipped out of the hands of Dor. First pass turnover. For Austrian, GB is on again, as they don't manage to complete a pass either.
Yeah, Daisy Lou shot just a bit too ambitiously, more outside than in there, and back in the hands of Dor.
That shot on the money now, going up the line in power position, and she's gonna launch it deep for her sister, and that is perfection. Johanna Dor to Sophie Dor.
Dor. Well, not more Dor. We're going to Dor as the Dor sisters connect for the score. A score from door to door delivery. What else can we say here about these Dor sisters, except they have got 2 breaks on the board early in this game. Sophie Dor, and I imagine her sister would be the same, representing from Graz, the Ketchup Graz club that they roll with down that way. And yeah, the 18-year-old Sophie and the 0-year-old Joanna, I think she's got her facts straight, or hasn't got her facts straight. And GB has wisely taken a timeout as we watch that door-to-door delivery one more time.
Beautiful, faking the big flick and then going around to throw the backhand. So GB is trying to get their heads into this game, and we will take a short break, and we will be back with you after these messages.
Yes, he will.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God, how they do it!
We are back live here after this timeout. Austria with a somewhat surprising lead early in the game, 2 breaks to 0.
This is exactly what they needed, and for the Brits, it's probably the last thing they expected. They were maybe looking a little bit too far ahead, had a tough loss, and assumed like, wow, this will be the one that gets us back on the right page. And well, they need to pull their socks up to make that happen.
Indeed, Bond going all the way to the other side. Ask him. Clark, and now they're running through that Austrian zone. Tran again. Goes back to Hart. Hart puts it out into the air. Askham keeps her toes inbounds. Hart again. And there is an out call on the pitch.
They're going to send out the sniffer dogs soon for this one. See if they can get a scent on the last place the foot was. It's not true. There are no sniffer dogs hired as referees in this sport.
There are no referees at all in this sport. Except
And
the players
there's also
themselves.
no sniffer dogs in this sport.
True.
But you're right. It is 14 referees, as I put up the quote marks with my fingers, on the field all at once. Every one of these players helps to adjudicate.
Sharuga to Bauer. And Sharuga goes up the line in a power position, and she's going to put it again. We've seen that before. And that is another score for Austria. 3-0 now. Sharuga to Stirner.
That shot from Sharuga, power position, that is what lateral cutting does. You get a nice lateral cut, a nice lead, but the zero hesitation, plant into your pivot foot and fire. That is what it's all about. Another break, 12 throws for the Brits, and a turnover that followed that, and a 3-throw clean break. Here it is again off the lateral cut. Sharuga bangs one in the end zone, and a nice take by
Stirner.
Say that again?
Stirner.
Gestiana, exactly. That's what I was going to say in the first place, to send that one home.
It is tough even for me, although I'm Austrian. And we saw these breaks and these throw develop all from the same cut, picking up from the sideline, going to the middle, and then immediately going up the line, getting a power position, and then having the perfect cut timing to get that score 3 times in a row. And there will be something they'll have to do against that too. The British will have to do against to figure out how to stop that. Another pull at halfway. Rather short field for GB to work with. Hodges. Break to Patterson. Wolf. Patterson again. And that one over the top. Austrian defender making sure that disc only hits the ground. Meister walking to the disc to pick it up. Moving and going, Meister and Justic calling that disc down are the Brits, Mia Meister. So the Austrians are saying it's up, the GB players are
Let's see
down.
if we get another look here.
Here it is again.
Yeah, and that
Oh,
one's
that
down.
touches ground by my estimation.
Disc is down, all the Austrians.
Great spirit by the Austrians. Those are tough ones to tell by feel sometimes. When you feel it in your hands, you don't necessarily see that trailing edge of the disc, especially when it touches ground like that. And it's great that they have the services of ULTI.TV in our replays.
Hicks puts it up, and that's gonna work for the first score of the Brits. Wolf with the collection, and Hicks with that pass into space. They took a book, a piece out of the Austrians' playbook.
Yeah, it's a similar length throw there to cash that one in. Wolf went streaking early, and Hicks not shy to put it to her, even add a little bit of a distance. Wolf, nice high take, two hands, safe as houses. And a sorely needed answer. And I didn't see it, but it looks like we have another timeout on our hands.
It does look that way. Maybe the Austrians want to stop the rhythm early, and we will also take a short break. After, we'll see that again. That beautiful put. Look at that, a beautiful score by Wolf, and we will take a short break and be back with you soon.
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We are back live after our messages and the timeout on the field. GB getting their first point on the board. Austria, of course, 3 breaks in a row to start this game off. Definitely the better start and a commendable thing to do after losing 2 games in a higher fashion that Austria did. You know, it's an important game for them.
Certainly is. They want to get themselves out of the basement, and when you look at the table, all the teams that are currently ahead of them will be tough to surpass. So a win here would certainly help that crest.
Full on. Picking up on that far side.
Zoned by the Brits, a 1-3-2-1, puppy fence as it's called.
And that disc now laid out by Miyamasa and caught, and a drop gives the disc back to GB. An immediate huck deep. Players underneath it, and another score for them quickly. That timeout surely helped them as Axum with the score for the Brits.
Yeah, Askam takes that one high. The aggressivity of the GB counterattack there, something to take note of. A team, when they're down in a hole, not afraid to start swinging haymakers to get their way out of it. And they had an opportunity there, and they wasted no time to counter-strike. And on this occasion, it paid its dividends as GB get within 1.
Indeed, GB used that timeout very well drop something. That zone stifled them a little bit.
The VO cameras unavailable right now because of local internet issues that the EUF are currently working on. We'll hope to get those to you later. The good thing is we're always here for you here at ULTI.TV. And if you have questions on scores and whatnot, we may not get you every bit of footage because we're only human. But we will go through great lengths to get you the information you need while giving you the footage from Field 3 here, Austria versus GB. Of course, we do this because we know you guys give back too, and you do all the good things, and you like and subscribe and become a patron, and for that, we love you.
Indeed we do. Lustig in the middle of the field to Meister. And she's going to put it deep as well. What a dime. Quick one as well, and 3 passes for the score. Austria on the board. It seems to be, everything seems to be working for that line at least. That was a beautiful setup and isolation from Meister, who gets an immediate continuation. A break side hook even inside. Austria holding. With actually their first offense point. No, they had. They got broken on their first offensive point, but the first hold for them. Just going up a great pole. Again, one that lands deep in the end zone. Bond to Tran. Butler. Back to Tran. Bond. Inside shot, nearly a D, but Tran completely open, and that one too easy to catch.
Yeah, that went through the hands of Nicolussi, and a little bit of a tough one to succumb to. That was in both hands, a little bit high. But the Austrians!
Bauer with a great grab. On the break side, Meister to Dor, and that's Cheruga to Dor. Sophie Dor with her second score of the game, and another break for the Austrians. Their offense is just clicking on every end.
Sophie Dor singing like Jim Morrison, "Come on baby, light my fire." The Doors are here, getting it all done. That one, the pickup on the layout, and then the no hesitation strike throw. Austria means business right now. And here's another look at how it all came to transpire. There's the error from GB, and really, this is a performance of the ages for at least a few of these Austrian players that are just taking it upon themselves to ensure their team is going to be in the winning side of this bracket. That layout, an absolute barnstormer by Bauer, and the throw that followed up by Dor, just a humzinger, came out of the hands, hit the receiver in stride in the corner of the end zone, and it is a 5-2 lead. You asked me for my opinion off the top. I said this should be advantage GB. They've been performing better up until this stage. Austria's been getting beaten up until this stage, but right now, this is Austria's game to win.
GB back on no. Hicks. The line to Lou. Bennett Lockley. Stevens. Fakes the break and only goes with a near run through. But GB keep possession and Hicks is gonna launch it again. Wolf underneath. And that is speedy. Too quick.
Was there a Mac somewhere in that line?
It did look like Hartman got a piece of that.
And we, of course, I gave this bit of trivia at EUC, but what again is a Mac? This is for those of you in the chats. Tell us why the word Mac to explain that.
Disc wobbling in the wind, and as it picks up right away, the Austrians cannot take advantage of that further break. And Hicks unmarked, completely unmarked, then Wolf gets up high and skies everyone around her with that score.
Hicks to Wolf works this time. Wolf taking a nice high one with the right hand, getting up in stride. And the GB squad certainly needed that. 4 breaks against them, 1 on their side. So still 3 breaks to work against. Austria will get the disc to start the second half. And boy, oh boy, do GB need these points. A good job of taking advantage of the early Austrian error.
Indeed, both those teams really want this win. We've said that again and again. An important game for both these sides after suffering losses this morning. Seems like Austria have used that break a bit better, but I bet GB can turn it up, and we've seen them go break for break for break yesterday against Germany. We know they have it in them. They'll just have to believe in that and find it in themselves.
There's Charlotte Wolf with her 2 goals on the board. GB with 3, so she's obviously doing some major contribution here. 2/3 of her team's goal scoring, and they're gonna need more out of her. There is Hicks, 2 of the assists. So doing her job to get 2/3 of her team's assisting. Those 2 players' stat lines most certainly highlight their importance to this club's success. This country's, this nation's success.
That pull also at around midfield, it seems like the wind is really having a big impact on it as Meister goes off with Justic. And Moosburger too high, and that is Meister running through and getting it. I release to Justic, and now Moosburger connects up the line for Meister, who's got that disc somehow. What a layout bit, and she's gonna put it deep as well. A player looked off by the defense, but it's slowly approaching, and it looked like she had the disc in her hands for a second, but then lost it again. Rauch. You see Meister putting it up there, hanging, and Rauch is all alone.
Ooh.
Ask him, was there first?
You think so?
I think she touched the disc first.
That's a tough one to say.
Anyway, they resolved it. It's GB's disc, and they're on the race. And Rauch can redeem herself, and she does by being right there as this throw is a bit too far for Askham. Justic. GB are back in that zone. Now breaking it is Meister. Moosburger again overshot by Lustig. And GB get another break opportunity here. Hodges finds Tran on the break, and she's gonna put it up. Sticky fingers by Patterson. A deep disc into the end zone and catching a trailing edge. Attempting to catch it with a trailing edge is Wolf.
Yeah, getting a little ahead of themselves there. A couple of these possessions now have been chomping to score a little sooner than the scores may be availing themselves. And some patience may do a bit of good.
Meister. Sterne. Möchte Batian. Low one for Meister. Moosburger and Meister puts it up deep. That is floating down and attempting to catch it, but always trailing out the side. Is that disc? It's a bit of a messy point.
Yeah, it is. There's been 5 turnovers already.
And Meister makes sure that disc does not find Wolf anywhere. And an immediate deep shot again, floating and trailing edge, but this one caught by Rauch.
The assist Meister, Leonie Meister, getting it done, and that inside out rip there was fearless right after making the D in front of Wolf. Steps on it first, makes sure everything's okay between her and Wolf. Steps on the line and zips. Oh, goodness gracious. There's that bid from earlier in the point. That was Meister too?
Yeah.
Disc Meister.
Ooh, that was actually Wolf putting her leg just in front of Meister. And we'll see that spicy flick again for her. No mark. That is probably Wolf's matchup there, and that beautiful put into Theresa Rauch, who already got 2 goals. It seems like teams have put a timeout on the field again, or no timeout, just everyone huddling, celebrating that score. And it's Austria got double the points that GB made right now. GB pushed them. GB played very good defense, got the disc back again and again. They're just not quite valuing it as much as we saw them do yesterday.
If Austria can continue to hold through to the half even, that could possibly be even make it 8-5 and they get the disc back. It's still a game that is just going to present a lot of difficulty for GB to get back into. It is a long game. There is plenty of time, but GB not looking the sharpest we've seen them this week.
Hicks has already got 2 assists to Lou. And that is a hand block by Daw. Sophie Daw gets a block to the 2 goals she already added. Her score sheet sister Johanna will pick up.
Closing the door on that one.
Punt after punt, as this one is punted to the ground. And a big hack floating for Wolf, and that one just too far, quickly picked up by Hickson. Only saw the ground at the end of that.
Yeah, Wolf did a good job to get some separation, but that throw needed a little bit more float under it. Bit of a laser.
Bauer to Daw. Daw's all alone, and she's gonna launch one of her own. Not sure who that was intended for, but it comes out a bit short, and again, a turn. Hicks. And blocked by Hofmeister. Great vision. The young Graz player picking up immediately and overshooting Daw just a little bit. Thinking about getting that second one, but this will always be out the side. We'll see that reflex of Theresa Hofmeister. But giving it away easy are the Austrians. Hicks again. Goes deep one more time. Hartmann is there, doesn't have to catch it, tries and drops, but it doesn't matter.
That was intentional, of course. It's a knockdown.
Yeah, sure. Giving that disc to Daw. And that one picked up by Hartmann after loads of cutting in the reset space and no one really being open. They redeem that, and another arcing shot. Daw into space for Sharuga. And the break for Austria, they go up 7-3.
I mean, I said it before, if Austria can simply hold, this is going to be tough for the GB to get back in it. But if they keep breaking like this, 7-3, GB, this is just nothing as per expectation. I feel like they must come into this game a little overconfident and just can't get on their energy back to where they want it to be.
Poppy Hartmann with that defense, and then we see the point as well. Hofmeister going to Daw, and Daw uses the very open Sharuga. Austria celebrate another break here. See that disc maybe a bit shorter than intended. And Daw gets it to Sharuga. Our drone footage, of course, represented by Eurodisc, as we take a break with the teams who've taken a timeout.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We are back live here, Austria against GB, and while everyone thought GB was a slight favorite coming into this game, Austria really getting into it as GB is cooling themselves off. Katie Flight making sure that everyone's bodies are level and cooling and not stressing whatsoever. Let me count. Maybe 8 or 9. Exactly. But now back to GB as they're on offense. Clark to Tran. Hart puts up a big disc, and that one might have been in, but not in for a travel. Frischmann talking with Askham. And we are just in front of the end zone line for GB. Reset to Nicolosi. And that one low and caught for Askham. She gets her goal in the end. As we're just looking at some other results in the division, Italy with a very similar, or rather similar start line, 7-3 over Germany. And Sweden up 4-3 on the Czech Republic.
So just a reminder as we give you the scores updates that we always appreciate likes. It's one of the things that we collect around here. And we like to pride ourselves on how much people like us. And for you, you just have to press a little button to show that you actually really like. And for now, I'm not even going to talk about the subscribe and Patreon and all the stuff that I just talked about. I'm not going to talk about that. We're just after the likes. Just give us a couple likes. Go on. Hit the button.
Austria picking up on the side. Julia Furlan into the middle to Meister and drops it. Bumps off the chest. A break opportunity for GB that they are needing. Lou overshooting on the other side. Meister going deep immediately and picked off. They know what she can do now. Patterson to Lou. And again, that shot, try to sneak it in there. Justic looks for an option and finds Julia Furlan. Up the line goes, and the power position not quite for anyone. Meister has to holster. Inside shot collected by her sister. Meister to Meister, inside shot again. And that one floating for a little bit, but gave up on the pursuit.
I like the inside shot that kind of just follows the same line as the stack. You can get players on the break side just peeling out, but that one never gave a chance.
Lou going up the line. This one, it does work. McCall up the line, and they're looking end zone now. Not quite there, and this one does work for the score and the break. GB 5-7.
Nice little piece of work by GB after the turn there to be able to crank it up this near sideline. A beautiful leading throw to finish it off. Outside in. Here's a look at the sequence that sets it up. There's the first. And right down the same line. Pivot in to open the space, and zippity-doo-dah. Wubba lubba dub dub. They're on the board there.
Indeed. We are within one of half for the Austrians. Britain are running behind 3 breaks. We'll see how many they can get back before the half. They already got 1. They need another 2 to make it level again.
It's amazing. I asked for a couple likes and we double our likes. So I gotta ask again. Do you like me? Us? ULTI.TV? Not a personality thing. You're allowed to dislike me personally as long as you like us, ULTI.TV, as a collective. Because as a collective, we're even better than I am as a human. We are doing wonderful things. We work our butts off over here to bring you the best of European Ultimate consistently. And we try and make our coverage as professional as possible. And we owe it all to you. And that's why we got to keep asking for more. Because you've got us this far, and it's going to be you that take us further.
Lustig. With 4 defensive players around her. And a big disc put into space and caught well by Maura. And that one overshooting, nice idea, but not quite there. They're not valuing the disc quite as much now, the Austrians.
I like it, Maura. Had a nice, strong 2-hand catch, went up and took it. The mechanics, the setup of that throw looked just as good. She looked balanced, poised, no mark on her. But it did, she was a little bit carried away, maybe a little excited, released it just a second early and got too much float on it rather than the line drive that may have zipped in the goal.
And that one for GB. Not collected, but a foul called. Williams claiming Meister pushed her off, maybe. And that is accepted. Williams will keep the disc in her hands. Thornton puts it up high. Patterson now. And she's going to launch it deep to an open player and ask him to Austrian underneath it. And Leni Meister doing what she does best.
Meister having a cracking game out there. That was a beautiful takeaway.
And launching it on her side again. That pull is beautiful.
Oof.
But inches away.
A beautiful throw and a beautiful chase. I'm not saying the chase should have been better or worse. To miss by an inch on a full field huck, you got to say that that's a very nice throw. Unfortunate for Austria that they don't put another one on the board there, but they do get a whole bunch of nice field position, and I still feel like they get a bit of confidence from that, knowing that they can chuck it and be that close.
Into the middle for Thornton. That's Clark. Off the line. Patterson. Clark even closer to that far sideline. And Tran and breaks to Clark. They're going every other. Patterson to Bond, and Meister with the defense layout attempt. Comes short, and Bond is going to launch it. One of her own that will just go to the ground.
And another huck that goes astray the other way. That one a little further off, but I mean, it's tough to say I don't mind the option. There was a defender in between the throw and the intended receiver there. However, it was an end zone throw with a little bit of space. I don't hate it. I don't love it either.
I think if that is executed well and the receiver is on the same page as the throw, it can work. This time it didn't. We have to account for the wind as GB do that a little bit better and get the disc right back. Tran, Patterson. And that one picked up by Meister. Stumbling, I'm glad she didn't launch that one. A big one to Hartman, who was absolutely open. High one, and weird angle.
Yeah, just threw to the inside of the intended receiver there. Maurer looked over the right shoulder, should have looked over the left, but the throw had a bit of a helix in it too, so difficult to read, as is this one that's gonna get away. No, it won't.
Williams on the pursuit and gets it, doesn't even have to lay out. Bond making quick work of it, but preservation of greatness, maybe. Hartman denying anything there. Meister. Inside shot to Hartman. Hartman low, and what a layout by Maurer. And this one gets off her hands. Meister in pursuit alone, and that's a score.
Austria takes half. 8-5. The score, Meister and friends are getting it done out there. Leonie Meister having a game. Sophie Dorr having a game. Daria Sharuga having a game. And Poppy Hartman also the same descriptor. Yes, I'm going to say it. Having a game. But it's more than those four. But there are 4 players on this team that will just not quit. They are putting this team on their collective backs. They got an 8-5 lead. They're going to get the disc back. They can make it Dolly Parton time if they score to open the half. And this is not to expectations, so we love it when things go against the narrative.
Indeed, and we especially love a close game. And GB made it that in the late stages of this first half. Both of these teams will go towards that shade the gazebos provide and manage their bodies, and we'll be back for the second half with us as well. And we're gonna take a break for half and be back with you in a few minutes.
Yes, he will. The lovely day.
We live in a world where everything can be referenced online. Imagine if the greatest moments in our sport were never filmed. Eurodisc continues to do what it takes to make free-to-watch live streams a reality. Let's leave nothing to the imagination. We'll consume the action live, and we'll support those that help to make it happen. If it wasn't streamed, it didn't happen. Eurodisc.
What a grab! Oh my God, how they do it!
Always on the move? You can keep up to date with ULTI.TV on all of our social media channels. Like, follow, subscribe, share us with a friend, or send us a message just to say hey. Thank you for supporting us in our mission to grow Ultimate everywhere.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our work to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
Something in the air, always something in the air. Inexplicable, I can feel it in
We are back live. Second half action, women division, Austria taking on Great Britain. And we are having a look at game stats right now. The scoreline, of course, 8-5 in the favor of Austria. A bit surprising, but what jumps out to you on that one?
The fact that everything is quite level except the breaks. Turns are, well, okay, there's a few more turns, 3 more turns for GB, but the break chances are just about the same. Only 1 extra for Austria. Clean holds, 1 apiece. But with the 3-point scoreline that's indicated, you see that difference in the breaks and the turns, which both have a 3-point differential or a 3-stat differential. So GB could manage their way back into this. The hot start for Austria is what's put them in this position. As we said, a very good chance to make it a 2-for-none if they can score a hold here, as they've done on 2 occasions and have only, well, they've had 2 breaks against as well. So 5 breaks to 3.
We could just easily say Austria had that better start of the 3 breaks early, and that's what made the difference in that whole game.
Yeah, we could say that. There you see GB trying to fire up behind Coach Katie Flight. Who is really stoked on this group of ladies, as she mentioned as well. Says they're very responsive, and she's just been having an absolute ball coaching this group of young, up-and-coming ultimate prodigies as they find themselves, and they've put in some good fights, and Coach couldn't be happier. That said, I bet you she'd be just a little bit happier if they could pull this one out of the hat.
Indeed. Who doesn't love to win? And if you can't change it by stepping onto the field and making a difference, to support the players who do get to make a difference by playing.
Shout out in the chats to Juan Salazar. Nice to see you in the chats. Thanks for the comments. Miss you out in Paris and hope everything's well. And as I say that, I talk to all of you who turned our likes from 21 to 46 in a matter of seconds. So I'm going to ask again. Go ahead, like us. And if you've already done that and you're like, Steph, come on, I do what you say every time. I did the liking. I'm telling you more things now. Subscribe to our networks, to our YouTube channel. And we're chasing 25,000 is our next goal for subscribers. We've only got 4,600 to go to get there. So be one and reduce that goal number. Simple. One step at a time until we get to our 100,000 placket with YouTube. But we would love to bring our YouTube placket to tournaments and let you guys all take a picture with it and say, I own this too. I helped. I am part of this family. I deserve it. And you know what? We will let you do that. You can take it, pictures with it. You can take it home for a night even. Sleep with it. Have fun. Enjoy it. Get to really know it. And then bring it back the next morning after feeding it a nice breakfast.
And cleaning it.
Yes.
That pull fielded by Dor into Justich. GB back with their zone. And the trusty hands of Meister will slice it through. 2 people in pursuit, and Hartmann puts one up that is floaty and caught somehow by Rauch. Dor now puts it into the end zone. And that is a score, a clean hold at that for Sophia Planck.
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living. I mean, the score is 9 to 5. A nice throw there by Hartman. I mean, the throw was the right moment to throw. It was the right receiver to throw to. It hung up too long, but that's how good of an option it was, that even when it hung up too long, that one could come down into the right hands. Here's a look at it. And then a nice composed, poised, strong finish to finish off the point. Rausch gives the dump back, and there is your Johanna Dor sending in the goal, and Austria with a 4-goal lead, 9 to 5. You've already heard the song.
Plank with the score there, the second receiver in the vicinity to get that deep shot, and instead of going for the immediate goal, she set her cut up perfectly to get the score instead. So GB trailing by 4. Quite a big margin for them.
Would you say it's over?
No, definitely not. Like the GB I've seen yesterday, they can still pull it off. On the other hand, like I haven't seen anything of Austria yet, and if they manage to play like this, the way they've shown us now, it's gonna be hard to stop. But their first thing to do might be stopping Meister, then Sharuga, and Hartmann possibly. And then we can talk on. We can discuss anything else that happens. Hart picking up the disc at the brick mark. Sophie Dahl already got one hand block. Clark to Hart again. And they travel, caught. That disc is high, floaty, and caught by 2 GB defenders. And it will go back on that travel.
Poppy Hartman came skidding in there. I thought she was making some claims to dangerous play, but no, it's going back because of a movement of the pivot foot. And there is the reiteration. And by Sophie Dor's reiteration, there was a big movement of the pivot foot.
Might have exaggerated a little bit as Hart puts up a disc, and Poppy running. The Poppy Hartman, of course, running as the only person towards that disc and macking it down. Daw into the ground. Red zone for GB. Trying to hold, and that one into the end zone, but only on the ground as well. Is there a discussion? Not, apparently not, and a turnover signaled by the hands of the players. Dahl fakes the around, goes inside, and somehow holds on to it and overshoots. Max and Dahl, Sophie Dahl catches it and puts one out into space.
Preservation of greatness there. A bit of wonderful play from one end. A couple nice passes to get it to the midfield situation, and then the last throw just showed a bit of that excitement as it got too far in front.
Tran off the hands of Hart, and that is red zone for the Austrians. We've moved all the way to the other side in just 3 passes. Dahl picks up, finds an open player, and that is a break to start the second half.
GB not gonna be happy with that one. Austria are pouring it on here. A break in the second half. We said there was a 2-for-none. Now it's a 3 for none, as the Austrians are just giving GB all sorts of fits that they did not expect. And I can't even say that I know that for sure that they didn't expect it. I didn't even ask the question when I spoke to Coach Flight. But based on what I've seen, based on what we've all seen, based on a look at the table, this was never the score line I would have predicted.
Me neither, but teams are going to regroup a little bit, get a timeout, and we will take a break as well and be back with you after these messages.
We are a group of ultimate players, coaches and video enthusiasts. We've worked with the major federations and the greatest events.
We're on a mission to make Ultimate huge. We want our videos and live streams to be free to watch.
We want to make stories that not only reach you,
but also reach people outside the Ultimate community.
Like and subscribe, ULTI.TV, the best in the world.
Become a member and
fund
fund
our
our
work
work.
to cover more events in the future and to bring more stories and live coverage to the eyes of the Ultimate world and beyond.
We are back live, Austria with double the points of GB, 10-5. And on the other pitches where women's games are played, Sweden is up 7-6 on the Czech Republic, and Italy up 12-6 over Germany.
Italians continue to look very strong in this division. The French continue to look very strong in this division. And what do you know? The Italians and the French play each other tomorrow in this division.
It's going to be good.
You bet it's going to be good.
Of course, everyone plays everyone in the beginning. But it looks like France and Italy are a level above all the other teams here, at least in the women's division. GB are running after a break. They hold first, of course. That disc goes wide already, and that one trailing edge just released too early. Good pressure from the Austrians and loads of pressure on that GB side to score. Fulan, daughter of EUF President Audi Fulan, picking up overshooting Mosburg, and Wolf with the D. Red zone for GB. Hicks tries to find Wolf again, a connection that has worked out so many times, but that shot just overthrown. A high stall pass to Moosburger, who holds on. Continuation goes, and that's a high disc indeed by Lou. Hicks picks up again. Moosburger right there with her, but the trusted hands of Wolf get that much needed score for GB.
Big hugs as Coach Flight enters the field there. I think everything needs to be celebrated and perhaps over-celebrated to get the right momentum to change the energy from GB. They did well there to get the score, and they're going to need to find ways to continue to do that. That time, a hold. They got to get this defense on the field, and again, job one, slow down the Austrians. Job two, find a way to convert, because the Austrians have been hot business just to open this game up.
Gotta get one to get the rest of it. Now comes that hard work. Getting all the breaks back. They've managed twice to get a break. So we saw Julia Furlan doing some handler work for Austria. As I mentioned briefly, her dad, her sporting hero, also Andrea Furlan, EUF president, who lives in Austria. Not too many people know that. Of course, he's Italian by birth, played in Bologna, but has been in Austria for quite some time. Still plays with his daughter as well.
What a good papa.
So Austria in a position to hold the pull again at midfield. These pulls have been influenced by the wind quite a bit. Justic finds Meister in acres of space. And Meister's going to put up another big shot. Players in pursuit, and that one is going to float out the back.
Yeah, Meister feeling it right now. Everything she throws must feel like gold, and that is going to make shooters want to keep shooting. And she's done it there. That one out the back. Still didn't miss by much. She did throw to a combination of defense and a back line that were both encroaching a bit too much on the intended receiver.
Hicks picking up and finding Wolf. Wolf now under pressure and has to go high and over everybody, trying to gain some yards despite not getting anywhere near a connection on that shot. Meister with the disc again and putting it out to Hartmann, who gets high and grabs that disc, fakes off, and with that grandpa backhand gets Meister, and she's gonna put it up again. A speculative throw that will hit the fence in the back with the Eurodisc banner.
Yeah, Hartmann made a spectacular catch there above the head that was coming in with a whole lot of mustard on it, and she managed to squeeze the hands. The dish to Meister looked good, but again, Meister chose that throw because there were no other immediate options, and she didn't want to use the rest of the stall count. She probably could have just turned to her flank or dump and created another option, but again, I think she's feeling it right now and wants to keep it rolling, but now that's a couple in a row that have gone amiss.
Hodges up the line to Williams again. We don't need anyone else to play. Seems like it. So not finding anyone going up the line to Tron, and Tron's gonna launch it deep. Players underneath it, and the one backing it away will be Teresa Roque.
Roque, make sure about that one. Catch your D's is the constant advice, unless you can knock it clearly out of bounds with no chance of anything. And in that case, Roque showed that potential.
Meister just put it up for someone to run in. Plank collects it. Meister putting herself into a power position, and Cheruga a bit too late. Now finding Rauch. Puts it back to Meister in the middle of the field. Dar up the line. No deep shot that she's looking for. Lustig now puts one up there. 2 GB defenders.
Now you saw Meister on that last one a little bit frustrated that there was not a deep cut. And she waited and she got the under and it was efficient. She got a completion. But maybe it is a case of the few errors resting in her memory and choosing to slow it down. I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong option here, but it might be just a little shift in tendency because of the very recent pass.
Hicks picking up, going inside, and that is caught by Cheruga. So Hicks claiming she dropped it after catching it, which would be a defense, another possession for GB.
No, there is no double turnover. We discussed this in EUC with Benji Reese, who had it all sorted out. The double turnover, not something that exists any longer. I would have to do a little bit digging to find that reference in the rule book. But as far as I'm concerned, based on what I know, that should stand as a turnover.
So it seems like it's retracted, a turn in the favor of Austria. And of course, GB has to punch it in, tap it back in, sorry, not punch it in. Austria wants to punch it in, and they do. Meister to Cheruga.
And there you see Meister not phased at all. This time picked it up, zipped it in. That should, if there was ever any doubt in her confidence, that should put that to ease. And that makes it 11-6. A 6 turnover point there as Austria continues to dictate the pace in this one.
Peter Cheruga, one of the coaches of the team, his daughter on that team as well, traveling with them, can't quite contain his excitement for this game because it's so intense. Så Wahnsinn, har jag sagt. It's crazy for everyone who does not speak German. Austria up, surprisingly. I think we've said that again and again. And
It's maybe not so surprising at this stage of the game now. It's
No.
been it was a surprising start, a hot start like that. You tend to wonder if there is legitimacy to it, and the longer this game goes, the more legitimate it well seems. They just keep scoring and breaking and scoring and breaking, and there's no two ways about it right now. This Austrian team is legit despite their results up till now in the tournament.
indeed, I agree with you on that. Just seeing how many turns GB have created on the Austrian side, I can see how an efficient unit like Italy and France would punish every single one of the mistakes that have been on the Austrian side as well as on the GB side. But they did have some intense games to start the tournament.
And of course, all these young teams have limited collective experience, limited chance to pre-tour and to practice game, and so a lot of their culture gets defined over the course of this week, and from beginning to end, most of them turn out to be very different teams. And there's a big turn, a run through defense by the Austrians again.
Frischmann, Julia Frischmann, box player, by the way. Anyone's interested in that? And a break for score, unmarked player, and that is bubbled and dropped. GB get it back. Hicks to Wolf. GB O-line on the field again. McCall. And that is a break pass. That is beautiful for Goldsmith. Looks for an option, goes up the line to Lou. Lou thinks about the shot and gets it on the second attempt. Wolf underneath it in the back of the end zone. Dahl and some other Austrian players who might not have the best perspective call it out, and Wolf agrees with them apparently.
Wolf does show a little bit of dismay with the call. She agrees, but she just really wanted that one to be in, and kind of just pops it out of her hand, a little begrudging body language to go with it, which is fair and spirited, and just a little bit cheeky for us to react to.
Bauer, the disc in her hand, very static. That Austrian stack. They get an up the line cut by Meister. Mia Meister tries to launch it deep, but macked down by Wolf. Nice pursue, and then making sure the disc only hits the ground. Inside shot.
Great defense there by the Austrian defender, Bauer. Running shoulder to shoulder with the intended receiver, and knocks it away.
To Dahl. And Dahl is launching again, and a big one of that. Another defense.
By Wolf again, so she's doing her part after not being so thrilled with the back line out call. She's now got the disc back twice for her country.
Patterson puts it into space, and Lou collects and travels quite a bit, maybe 2 to 3 meters, but that works his heart. Puts it into space.
It was a low one there. Would have needed an early layout to kind of rise and fall in the air. And since that wasn't available early, the crumble over was not available either. No possibility of getting down that low with that much speed.
Bauer goes break and hopes for someone to run under it, and Cora Wartinger does. Again, trying to get something, but that Austrian offense very static, and GB with a short field, and that is a score for them. A hold to make it 11-7.
What? I think you mean 7-11. It's Slurpee time.
Indeed, I wanted to give that to you because it's one of your signature calls to make.
I've never said the same thing twice on air, ever. Every word I've ever uttered has been unique for each time, and I'm lying.
I would have believed you.
Only about that. I'd say a lot of things over and over again, as you wonderful followers and viewers and dedicated European Ultimate watchers know all too well.
All too well. Quoting Taylor Swift there. As we see our Eurodisc best perspective shot of the GB squad all coming together on that line to hear the game plan and hear how they will surmount 3 breaks from the Austrian side. 4 actually.
4 to surmount.
Austria standing together in unity there. I think the Colombians have started that. Holding hands as
Quite possibly back at World Games in 2017 in Poland is when the I trust you motto from the Colombians became a known thing in the ultimate world.
Cheruga looking for an option, finds the inside shot to Meister. Meister thinking better of that inside shot that she's taking so many times into the end zone. And there it is, called it. And that's a score as this one weighted far better.
Meister getting it touched. You see her now, she's picking up the grass and she's not thrilled with herself after throwing that assist. She should be. Her throws are coming off quite well, and you said that she wound it up once and put it away, and then she threw it anyways, and she nailed it. She had the bigger receiver there. Here's another look at it. Put it right over the defense, and again, it was coming back towards the stack, so as long as she could evade the defenders there, her teammates were going to have a chance of that at the back of the end zone.
I get both sides, and you're absolutely right. That was a shot that worked. On the other hand, as a player, that disc got her receiver in a bit of trouble. There was defense there, and there was also a lot of space on that break side to still be attacked, and if that throws goes out a bit zippier, released a bit later, it could be even more perfect. On the other hand, that was a good score and a hold of 4 passes again for Austria. Also, I think you can always find something flawed.
Yeah, of course. But it's tough when you're in the lead and throwing assists to not find some happiness in these mechanics, but it's not a bad thing. I'm not upset with that. I don't take exception to any of that. I don't mind players being hard critics upon themselves. It does really push them for more and more.
And GB are out on defense again. Hart. Having to go far to Lou, and Lou hacks it deep, both underneath it. Player that has gotten so many scores, trying to toe the line and toes the back. Players have different opinions on whether that is out or still in. We'll get a replay. I'm not so sure if we will be able to see whether her feet were still. Oh, but that was definitely out the back. Players will come here to have a look, and you can see she's trying to toe the line, but the toe is already behind the line, and that is out. Players and coaches from both sides
Happy to agree on that one. Happy to have the services of our video replay.
So Austria get a break opportunity, and they launch it deep again, a thing they've done, and that has worked out time and time again, and it does here with Maura. Finding Sofita. Now full on. And a pick called on the field. Hicks still going to mark. So Hicks is putting up that mark on full on.
Still trying to work out the pick resets.
So I'll translate for everyone who does not understand German right here. Hicks has come to mark after everyone has already stopped, and I think it is her, like what the coach is saying from the sideline is she should come back in, but she sets the mark for Folan. And that shot up the line is money, but not quite there, as GB now can reset their offense. And Wolf trying to get the second attempt there in the middle of the field, but overshooting Hart. Great break by Folan, and Daw launching deep, players underneath it, and that's a score. Rinneberger.
Big score for the Austrians. Julia Ferland brings that one in from static and has a nice break throw that really opens up the field. Of course, Julia Ferland wearing the number 6 because that's how she used to write it in her name as a kid. She thought it looked like a capital G. And here's another look at that.
Zippy and round break.
And Dorr with the big backhand that floats just ever so perfectly into the hands of Rinneberger.
An interesting shot, actually, same third, but arced around and back in. Rinneberger knew exactly that that one was coming for her.
Thirteen to 7. And GB getting going the other way. A handful of passes to get to the midfield mark here. It's Clark who puts one over the top.
And that one just in front of the end zone. Put out into space and too far and too low. 2 receivers in the vicinity, but that shot released a little too early. We see that great pickup there. And somehow Askham still holds on to that disc, fakes the first one, and then overshoots Bond ever so slightly. Austria shoots directly to Tran, and Bond is overshot as well. Clark, I think, tried to jump there in there, but didn't quite get the disc around them. Daw gets Bauer, and Bauer launches low, and that hits the grass.
A lot of power by Bauer, but not enough air under it. Hot spinning disc, and it turned into a bit of a worm burner.
Tran, trusted handler for that GB side, picks up, finds Clark. Inside shot with just the right angle trading. And Askham in the same position as before. Going back. And that around shot this time connects with Askham on the receiving end.
Boy, did they need that one. 8 on the board for GB. They are still 5 behind while Austria remain 2 away from victory, but they have delayed the inevitable, or what would seem like the inevitable so far, by holding there. Now they're going to have to do that against Austria's O-line.
It does seem like Austria's O-line is the more composed in this minute. At the second half of that game, 2 clean holds for them with only a few passes. One with 3 turnovers, to be fair, but I think it's a hard. They're giving the GBD line a hard time. It's not too easy to stop them. If they can switch up something to make that happen, slowing them down, GB will get breaks on them and convert those breaks, but so far the energy is on the Austrian side more than on the GB one. Four minutes and 35 seconds remaining on the game clock, so nearly finished. That time, 100-minute games?
Yeah.
Of course.
Still a very high likelihood we're going to be playing 15. If Austria score here, we're playing 15. We've never played 15. That is the points count.
That pole lands around midfield. Justic, no mark, and puts it into Meister. Meister with a break, hack into space. 2 players underneath it, and a defense by Sarah Thornton.
Yeah, great D there. The rose between the 2 thorns was Thornton as she got up as the single GB white jersey there and breaks this one up before further damage can be done.
A defense layout will get that disc back.
Or will it?
A call will stop play. Lou and Meister having a chat. Meister, so I think it's about a block on the hand, and Meister saying she did not touch the hand, and Lou disagreeing with her. We'll have the benefit of the replay. I might have a biased opinion, but I thought that disc was out of her hands.
I would need another look to give any opinion. But it seems like they've come to resolution. Disc remains in the hands of GB, so an accepted foul.
Accepted foul. It's what the player, or maybe a contested foul will give the disc back to Lou.
Contested indeed it was.
Wolf with a high grab, looks for an option and finds Patterson, who goes to Hart. Low pass to Wilson. And that one all Teresa Rauch as she turfs it. Hart quick to pick up, and it seems like the rest of the team was not quite ready. Not as ready as she was, at least. And that is a big put into space, and Rauch again redeeming her earlier error and connects with Dor, holstering that at the last second. Up around, grab by Sheruga, who has a stoppage because of an injury.
Yeah, it looks like Bennett Lockley has done a hammy there, something to the left hammy. She grabs as she walks off the field. Ask him onto the field. and Hartman with the tactical substitution.
Disc is with Meister again. Finds Rauch. And goes up the line to Meister. Mixer, get up high. Thinks about that big one, but holsters and goes to the middle. Sharuga, back to Meister. Meister always looks for that deep shot. A pick called, signaled in the stack at least. Disc might go back to Meister because of it. She stopped there because of that pick, maybe? Or she just couldn't get it?
Not too sure.
So a longer discussion on the field. GB signaling a turn. GB players, that is. And that will be the outcome of this. Gotta always catch the disc. Hart in the middle. That near side rather, and Wolf has to go low and gets it. Hart again. Patterson to Hart as she launches deep. Sharuga to Patian. Meister doesn't have a deep shot, looks reset and finds Dor, and now Dor puts it. Hartmann gets it, and Austria is within one of the game.
Somersault jump, that one works, and Austria take it away. The defense downfield in front of Wolf. Everything that was necessary for the throw that was a little bit short. And then Meister looked at the deep shot, didn't have it, got Dor on the upline, and Dor nailed the deep shot there into Batian. And they are one away as they call another timeout, does Austria. 14 points. They are going to have 7 game points.
And as both teams are taking a breather, we're doing that as well. And we'll be back with you after these messages. We are back live. Austria over GB in this women's division round robin matchup. Time has expired and we are playing to 15 points. Austria is within 1. GB has to score 7 points in a row to get that win, and it seems like I was never ruling them out. It seems very insurmountable to me right now.
I'm going to throw my belief behind Austria right now. I think they're going to win it. I'm gonna say it here. I know I'm really putting my neck out on the line, but Austria not here to count ants, as we may have assumed prior to this game, and they would have their hands full counting ants around here. That needs to be said. There are a lot of ants. However, they're here to play Ultimate, and they're doing it today.
Bond and Tran going every other. Bond gets it back here, inside shot to Thornton. Tran to Clark. That Austrian zone not stopping GB's side whatsoever. Clark has it again, and Tran now going back. Golby. And that is a D by Sharuga, probably her third or fourth of the game. And mind you, she's only 14 years old already. One of the important people on that team. Static for the Austrians. Meister puts up a deep shot. She's done that all game. In pursuit, is she gonna get there? No.
Looks good. It was just a little bit overthrown. Door was in top speed there. She can't be faulted for her pursuit. I can't believe Daria Sharuga is 14 years old with 5 years playing experience. That is mental.
Tran picks up and doesn't find an option. Has to go high and over and finds Bond in acres of space. Back to Tran, the two of them. Working it. Clark into the middle and a layout D by Hartmann.
Austrians want this one. Poppy Hartmann come flying through, and now the chance to win the game.
Break shot. Sophie Daw puts it into Daria Sharuga, and that is a win for Austria, the first of the tournament. And what a performance, Steph.
Wow, Austria do not want to be counted out. They did everything from beginning right to the end of that one to ensure victory. They looked strong throughout. Kudos to them. A strong set of performances across the board. Hartmann in the end, 4 blocks and 2 goals. You kidding me? 4 blocks. Sharuga. 3 goals, 3 assists, 3 blocks. Dord, 5 assists. That's Joanna Dord. I mean, we can go on, and we might as well, because they all deserve their shout-outs over here in Austria. Sophie Dord, 2, 2, and 1. That's 2 goals, 2 assists, and a block. And Rausch with 3 goals, 1 assist, and 3 blocks. Finally, Leonie Meister, a goal, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. And there's lots of stats all over the rest of that sheet, but those are the ones that really jumped off the page and made this Austrian team into the winning team they are.
Indeed, that team packed with stars, and yeah, we saw a great performance for them. So we see a drone best Eurodisc best perspective showing us the whole grounds, and we'll have Sven Kleinhappel, one of the Austrian coaches, joining for a short interview. Sven, how does it feel to get in that first win of the tournament?
It feels amazing. We've been working towards this one, and it feels great to be there and finally got it. The girls have improved a lot over the last day, and it's good to be here.
What did you do to prepare them? Because you started off so well with a 3-break lead.
The most important thing we did, of course, was the 3 coaches watching the game yesterday, sitting up there in the stands and rewatching it in the evening in the live game, the last game from GB against Germany. And we had a good plan coming into the game, and we just knew the most important thing for our team is we found trust in the last game, and now it was time to find the security and keep the trust up, and then we could do anything.
That's nice. What's your game plan going on from this one?
Going on from this one, we of course want to take a lot of energy and a lot of things we did here with us, because we've improved a lot in our handle rotations and all that stuff, and take all this energy and bring it on into the next games, facing I think Italy tomorrow.
Probably Italy.
We have Sweden left, Italy left, and I'm probably forgetting a team, Germany, of course. Germany.
Of course. The typical Austrian-German match. We're all looking forward to this one.
Looking forward to the German Classic, and it's going to be a good match.
Yeah, thank you very much for joining us here. Good luck for the rest. Great performance, and we'll see you again maybe.
Thank you, and thank you for commentating.
Always. We're always here to give you the best live coverage. As we're wrapping up this one quickly, have a quick look at the game stats. Austria and Great Britain, a great performance by the Austrians. 8 breaks to Great Britain's 27 break chances. Those are so many. 3 clean holds with us. Those 17 break chances on GP that they only converted 2 of. They will get over this loss. Austria will feed off of this win, and we will be right back with the next game, that is Germany versus Sweden in the open division. Don't go anywhere. Last game of day 3 coming up for Stuff for Pazzo. I've been Christina Obermeyer, and we will be back with more coverage.
Merci beaucoup. Yeah, ultimate.